ESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Everybody wanted to see what I was going to do if they left the Miami Hurricanes out of the 12-team playoff. I guess we'll never know.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. I don't care what happened after 12:24 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. I don't give a damn. Nothing after that mattered. Now, some very great things happened. My wife made this amazing bolognese. I thought I was back in Italy. I mean, it was spectacular. It is beautiful. We got leftovers. I can't wait to dig back in when I get home here before we take on the Lou Groza Award. So that was great. That was stupendous.
Not sure it's how you pronounce that.
Bolognese?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Bolognese?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you? The sea cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. I've been saying bolognese my whole life.
Like as a joke, or
How do you say it?
how do you spell it?
Bolognese.
Yeah, it's not.
How do you say it? How'd you say it?
Bolognese.
Bolognese?
Mm-hmm. Soft G.
I've never heard anybody say bolognese in my life. Bolognese. No, that doesn't sound right. I'm not going with this. So she made some great bolognese. Then also after that, we had a slate of NFL games. I actually did extremely well on fantasy football in many leagues. So the 1 o'clock slate treated your boy well. The afternoon slate also doing good. I'm winning in a couple of playoff matchups right now. So all the vibes are high in the Dorsey abode because the Miami Hurricanes are in the 12-team playoff and my fantasy football teams are going well. And then when clock hit about 8:15 and most people were tuning into NBC for Sunday Night Football to catch a couple of AFC teams, I guess, played. Went to sleep. Nothing to see there. Nothing could ruin my Sunday from that point forward. I had an extremely blessed weekend. I am grateful for the moments and times that were had and the bolognese or bolognese, however you want to say it. It was some damn good pasta.
You want to say it right, like they do on Google?
I will say it.
Bolognese.
Bolognese. So you said it wrong too.
Did I?
Kind of added a little too much funk to it.
Bolognese.
Why whenever I ordered at the restaurant, they never correct me?
They would go to the kitchen and just laugh at you.
You think that's what they hold it in the whole time?
Mm-hmm. Bolognese.
Bolognese.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big word for our mouth.
Either way, the Miami Hurricanes are in the playoff.
Damn it, they are.
Woo!
Oh, I was sitting in a golf cart with my phone on a magnetic, what is it? Prop. Like it was sticking to the golf cart.
The little thing that, yeah, I got you saying. Yeah.
And watching the selection show, great programming there.
A mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I left at well, I was driving to like the 7th tee box. I was so happy.
My experience was a little different. So I had this angst within me all morning long. I was sitting on my couch in the living room. Of course, as I'm setting three things are happening simultaneously. We have on ESPN and I'm watching the discourse in the studio about what is about to happen as the selection committee is making up their mind. I'm also trying to set my fantasy football lineups because, as you know, C-Cat, I'm in like 10 leagues. So it's a very convoluted process of checking this, checking that, back checking that, checking injury reports and stuff. So it's a 10 to 15-minute process to get all of that sorted out before 1 o'clock kickoff. And then also my wife is on the phone with her parents talking about, a little bit about football and talking about what we're watching. And she's asking me questions about what's about to happen. That's in the back of my mind as well. And all I could think was, damn, how terribly am I going to feel for the rest of this day if I have to sit here and soak in? We start off my football Sunday with literally what have been the worst tragedy in the history of college football playoff. Like Miami not getting in over Notre Dame would have been an absolute mockery of what the intention for college football is. You play to win the games. And if two teams played each other, that should be a category that is I would assume you would check that one out first. Like if I was trying to figure out, like imagine if C-Cat, you and I, we were boxers and We got into the ring, and then you whooped my ass. And then for the next 10 weeks, I went about fighting middle schoolers left and right and beating up on them too, running it up on them, knocking them out in the first round, throwing haymakers. I mean, I'm doing the whole nine. I'm shaking in the face like Muhammad Ali. And then I go out and make a national campaign about how now, because I beat up on those middle and high schoolers, I'm better than CCAT. I'm better than him now. Actually, everybody should assume that I'm going to beat CCAT like you assumed I was going to beat him the first time, even though he whooped my ass.
And there's a big tournament coming up to find out who the baddest dude in town is, and I should be in that team because I whooped up on CCAT.
Well,
not CCAT.
Yeah, I whooped up on all these other dudes. Did you see? I know CCAT beat my ass, but did you see how good I looked against Lil Timmy? That's what Notre Dame has been doing over the past month and a half. I know that the Miami Hurricanes, welcomed us into their humble abode and whooped our tail at the line of scrimmage, held our best player to under 40 yards rushing, and yes, sure, we made it interesting in the fourth quarter, but they came out with the only thing that matters, and that's the win. But look at all of these fancy statistics I can show you. The funniest part about the whole Notre Dame argument is people are leaving out the most important part, and that is the competition that they played against. How dare Notre Dame stand in the pulpit today and bark and talk down on the P5 teams, or excuse me, the group of 5 teams that got in on the back end of the schedule? James Madison and Tulane, who got in on the back end of the 12-team playoff. How dare you try and diminish what they did and criticize their resume when 2 of the games in which you are considering yourself to be these powerful team now, 2 of the games that you're using as data points were against group of 5 teams themselves. And guess what? You scheduled them. That's the funniest thing about Notre Dame is they had all the power over their own football schedule because they're not in a conference. They scheduled the cupcake games all throughout the schedule. The 2 games that could have got them in was Miami and Texas A&M. They lost both of them. The rest of their schedule wasn't good enough. So it's cute that you went 10-0, but you were punching down. And to play with the big boys, you got to beat the big boys, not just lose cute to them. And that's what Notre Dame did. So how dare them try and turn their nose up at other programs across the nation when they had all the control. Also, I believe the Miami Hurricanes beat the will out of Notre Dame. I believe not only did the Miami Hurricanes beat the will out of Notre Dame in week 1, they beat the sense out of the decision makers around that program. Because, CCAT, did you see Notre Dame's response to being left out of the 12-team playoff? Is that not the For those that don't know, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have publicly recused themselves from playing in any bowl games this year because they weren't let in the 12-team playoff, because they didn't beat Miami or Texas A&M. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish are no longer fighting. They're whimpering. They're crying. They're making excuses. In fact, they're making veiled threats at the very conference that kept them relevant through the back end of their season. How dare you, athletic director of Notre Dame, go on the Dan Patrick Show and fix your mouth to talk crazy to the conference that literally lifted your schedule out of absolute hell. All of the good games that you claim to have were ACC teams. And take a listen to the athletic director of Notre Dame here on the Dan Patrick Show trying to act like a big, tough guy because his team didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs. Take a listen.
But we were mystified by the actions of the conference to attack, their biggest really business partner in football and a member of their conference in 24 of our other sports. And I would tell you, Dan, I wouldn't be honest with you if I didn't say that they have certainly done permanent damage to the relationship between the conference and Notre Dame.
Actually, Ruben Dane and Akeem Benzador, they did permanent damage to your offensive line. They did permanent damage to your reputation. In fact, I would say Notre Dame itself did permanent damage to its reputation at college football as a whole by the way that they're acting like babies about this. Have you no self-respect? You lost the football games. Like, I can see if the shoe was on the other foot and Notre Dame got in over Miami and Miami tried to pull this card, I wouldn't like it as a fan because I think it is cowardice, it is lame, it is corny, it is weak. But at least they would have a foot to stand on because they beat the team that they put in over you. Notre Dame is doing all of this crying and gallivanting because they put Miami in when you had a chance to beat Miami on the football field, but you couldn't. What the hell is going on over there in South Bend?
It is the most inexcusable reaction to a situation of which you wrongfully believe you were wronged I've ever seen. Notre Dame is the joke of the sport now. Notre Dame has gone from being the best example of our sport to being the laughingstock of college football.
They're a joke.
They are the most entitled, holier-than-thou sons of guns I have ever seen in sports. To think that you are owed anything in this sport, to think that the ACC, who wanted you to join their conference.
Yeah, the door's been open. You haven't walked through it.
You could have been one of us, but you're not, and you made that decision. So when it's one of ours or you for the college football playoff that would bring in a lot of money for our conference,
yes,
we're going to try to campaign to have an ACC team be in the college football playoff. And we're going to do everything in our effort as the ACC to campaign for that. And that should not shock you whatsoever.
I'm actually incredulous at the response from Notre Dame because they are literally, people try to use this word on social media, especially. In fact, at one point there was somebody that dropped this word in the YouTube chat at me one time, but playing like the victim card, right? Like literally like trying to play the victim card in a way that is dishonest or maybe disingenuous. I have never seen a more disingenuous victim in my life. Like, what the hell what happened to Notre Dame? Since when have we all picked up our swords and been attacking Notre Dame? Last I checked, people were bending over backwards to tell a compelling story about how they were better than the team that they lost to. Last I checked, people were bending over backwards to pat them on the back for beating a Syracuse team 70-7 that started a lacrosse player at quarterback. Their best win on their resume was against USC, which is fine. That's good. You were at home. You beat USC by 10. Congratulations. That is a good win. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. And that's the thing. It's college football. Like you said, how dare you expect for us to roll over and give you everything you want at every turn? Why would Notre Dame ever expect people to do that? Oh, shoot. Actually, I have an idea. Maybe it's because behind closed doors, they have been getting their cake and eating it too. Did you hear about the agreement they have with the selection committee over the next couple of years?
I certainly did.
What the hell is that?
If Notre Dame is ranked in the top 12, they're guaranteed a spot in the playoff.
PU. Y'all are that is the most scrub, like
never again. Right, Pinky Promise?
Imagine. I really want to talk. I genuinely want to hear from a Notre Dame fan today. And they're everywhere. They're nationwide.
College football, I am.
How are you not embarrassed?
College football doesn't need Notre Dame.
No, thank you.
They don't.
This is exactly what I've been thinking the whole time. I'm like, since when did you guys become Alabama? Since when the last time they won a national championship? Last time I saw them on the national stage, Manti Te'o was out there getting bludgeoned by the Crimsons. I don't think they crossed half field. Like, what? It ain't been good since my dog Lou was on with the headset on. What are we talking about? Why are they trying to pick up their ball and go home when we got 50,000 other balls here at the court? That's literally what this is like. This is like the kid who didn't get picked up at the basketball gym, and people keep making the analogy of, now that they don't want to play in their bowl game, they're taking their ball and they're going home. Yes, and they're taking their little basketball that's torn up. It's an outdoor ball that they're using inside the gym. And they're taking their little Spalding and bringing it home. We got 50,000 Wilsons right here next to us. So we're like, okay, well, okay.
We have the basketball rack. Actually, the school janitor opened up the supply closet and gave us a rack of game balls to use inside. That ball sucked. That ball had no grip.
Dog, who gives a damn if Notre Dame doesn't play in a bowl game? I don't. Maybe the bowl game that wanted them I don't give a damn. Matter of fact, you're hurting your TV partner in NBC. You're hurting, obviously, the potential partners in like ESPN, ESPN events with managed bowl games. You're hurting your relationship with other schools, with college football. But like you said, college football will be fine without you. Imagine if Notre Dame football, if they just canceled the football program today. They just canceled it.
The only thing Notre Dame does to the rest of college football is inconvenience the rest of college football.
Yes. They have to have
right
special
now,
rules.
Whether you like it or not, whether you're a traditionalist or not, this sport does revolve around the 12-team college football playoff. And if all the other conferences could guarantee that it would be Power 4 schools and then the couple of auto bids in a rare occasion like this year, 2 group of 5 schools, they would take that if they took the Notre Dame out of the equation. That's a seat at the table they no longer have to deal with.
Nobody's flinching at that. And here's the other part of it too, though. If you're Notre Dame and you think, oh, well, if they don't let us in the playoff, then we're just not going to participate in anything. I am curious. Just raise your hand and tell me about that one special Notre Dame football team that you couldn't live your college football experience without. Has been. That's what Notre Dame has been. Used to. Not no more. I think about the great LSU team. I think about the Cam Newton team. I think about RG3's Baylor team. I think about Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree at Texas Tech.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny
made
Manziel.
A big footprint in the sport, bigger than in the last 25 years Notre Dame.
Dog, name that Notre Dame team. Was it the Brady Quinn? If it wasn't for the Manti Te'o scandal, that team would be more forgettable too. And that's no disrespect to how good those players were, how great he was as a linebacker, or how high they rose. College football would be just fine without Notre Dame. So them trying to act all big and bad and take their ball and go home, to me, it's laughable. To me, it's like they're literally like a toddler having a temper tantrum because they didn't get their way. And we got a YouTube message in the ESPN South Florida. Jump in on the YouTube page, comment, like, subscribe, all the whole nine. Jason, who says Miami and Notre Dame deserve to be in. I beg to differ. Because Notre Dame had the opportunity to get in. Just like, so last year's Miami Hurricane team, they had a good case to be in the 12-team playoff, but they lost games that they should have won, and had they won those games, they would have been in. This year, if Notre Dame wins either against Texas A&M or against Miami, they're in. In fact, this year, if Notre Dame plays its schedule the same exact way, but Miami has one more trip up and goes 9-3, Notre Dame is in. In fact, this year, if Miami made the ACC championship game and got in, and we didn't have to have 2 G5 teams, guess what? Notre Dame is in. But guess what? It's like for the first time today they're learning in South Bend that life ain't fair. It's like, well, you're not owed anything in this life, especially not just because you rock some golden domes and you want to slap a sign that says play like a champion every day. I am not going to miss. The only bad thing about not having Notre Dame in the playoff, we get a few less highlights from Jeremiah Love. That's it. I mean, can you think of any, sure. It's a running back, too. He probably would have got bottled up like he did against Miami.
Yeah, I was going to say. He didn't really put great stuff on tape when he was at Hard Rock Stadium last time.
So what are we talking about? It's funny to me.
And the thing is about Notre Dame's schedule, like you said, they control their schedule.
Yes,
sometimes, you look at a couple of Big Ten schedules of contenders next year, and it's weak because when you greater the size of the conference, the greater the chance that you can dodge bullets of contenders in those conferences. But it's not up to you. It's a conference schedule that you are given.
Yes.
And even the non-conference schedules are scheduled years ahead of time to where maybe you expect a West Virginia here to be very good.
Right.
And that just doesn't end up playing out that way. But when you make your own schedule, you have to deal with the weakness of your own schedule. And you have to deal with maybe you overload your schedule and you end up going 500 against some really good teams. But it's up to you.
And they chose the easy way out. Like, you didn't have to schedule 2 G5 teams. You didn't have to schedule the Stanfords and the Syracuses of the world, the Boston Colleges of the world, instead of the Clemsons and the Miamis and the Louisvilles of the world. You beat them. NC State's a pretty solid program from time to time. You beat them. You got the rivalry with USC, so that's going to be on your schedule. Again, Notre Dame at every turn since my existence, especially in the sport of college football, they've been runners. They've been afraid of the smoke. Ask them about what happened with the Notre Dame-Miami rivalry. You kept that thing going and you had Miami on your schedule every year, maybe you'll be better off for it. They ran from that. And now they're running from a bowl game because they weren't allowed into the playoff because they didn't deserve it. They did not earn it. And there are people talking about it's not the best 12 teams. It's not the best 12 teams. We want the best 12 teams. That's convenient to say when your team ended up at number 13. But the fact of the matter is, the agreement already in place is that the top 5 ranked college football conference champions get in. You're not a part of a conference.
Exactly. You get all the pros, none of the cons. That's what you want.
What are you talking
It's
about?
insane. And they also
Join a conference.
And to be fair to Notre Dame supporters, and those that wanted the Fighting Irish in the playoff, they took aim at Alabama in the waning hours because of Alabama losing in their bonus conference championship game against Georgia, a team they already beat in Athens, in Georgia's own building. They were splitting their focus between pleading their case on Notre Dame in over Miami. But if that's not the case, it's got to be Alabama, right? I mean,
Yeah, they're like, somehow. But that's why I've always directed my attention towards Notre Dame. I didn't care if Miami got bounced out of the playoffs as long as they were ranked ahead of Notre Dame because they earned that. If you're Notre Dame, you didn't really have a solid argument about any of these teams. You didn't. Because your best win is USC. You lost to the 2 playoff teams that you did fight against. And Alabama at least beat Georgia on the road. Like, maybe you can argue against BYU, but again,
and you know what?
Both of y'all.
And I would say no, BYU in over Notre Dame, because BYU, according to the College Football Playoff Committee's criteria, there was a little bit of an asterisk on their one regular season loss. They didn't have their starting quarterback against Texas Tech. That does matter, and that is in their criteria. They don't get it was week 1.
Right.
But Notre Dame wants to have that a part of the criteria. Well, I know it was a primetime, standalone Sunday night football game on ESPN for the world to see on ABC. It was week 1.
It was week 1 for the Canes, too, who had a new defensive coordinator, a new transfer quarterback, and an almost entirely new defense out there. What's in their excuses that their quarterback was a freshman? You chose him. You knew he was a freshman before you started him against Miami. The excuse making, the bickering, the crying. I'm actually starting to pity them because I'm starting to wonder, have they been this far out of check with reality the whole time?
Theo, I came on these airwaves the day after last year's Orange Bowl, where my favorite college football team, I'm an alum of Pennsylvania State University.
Pennsylvania.
And I came in with ferocious bias against Notre Dame. And a lot of that was just because of my in-person experience at a college football game where I was seated around a bunch of Fighting Irish fans. It feels so good to be vindicated in my disdain for that football program.
They deserve it.
To where now I'm a little bit more justly disdaining that team.
They deserve it.
I cannot stand Notre Dame. I will never root for that program after seeing how they just acted in the last 24 hours.
Start whimpering. Oh my! But
It
guys,
is the weakest thing I have ever seen for a team that truly has more control of their own fate than anyone else in the country, and they are saying they're wronged.
soft. Baby lotion soft.
If you want guarantees, join a conference and you get actual guarantees.
Oh, no, they got their guarantees anyways because apparently they could just make, behind closed doors deals and negotiations to be, if we rank in the top 12, can we just please get an auto bid? Like, does UConn get that too? They're also independent.
We talk about how the SEC thinks that they're greater than, and they have a much stronger case for that than Notre Dame in terms of special treatment.
Yes.
College football does need to treat the SEC in a different way because of the history of college football can't be told without the SEC, especially in the last 25 years.
They earned it.
And they have earned it, and they have proved it in more ways than one. The one program does not get special treatment, and they shouldn't, and they've got enough already, especially with that behind closed doors agreement, that if this happens again, Notre Dame's in.
Especially because they have not been a championship winning program. I can see if they had us by the you-know-whats because they were on some kind of Bama or Georgia or Clemson-esque run. No, absolutely no. You didn't. And you didn't even get it done last time you were in it. So I don't want to hear all of that barking from you. I'm done with Notre Dame. No more talking about Notre Dame because their season's over.
By their own choice, by the way.
Yeah.
Their season's not in the college football playoff because eventually the committee decided they wouldn't be there. There would be Notre Dame football to be played in 2025, 2026, depending on the date of the game, if Notre Dame wanted to.
They took that away from their fans because they don't give a damn about their fans. Notre Dame does. And I'll say this, too. What a great legacy for the Miami Hurricanes 2025 program. They broke the spirit and the will of Notre Dame. They made them quit in the middle of the season. Like Reuben Bain, who's going to be a top 5 draft pick in the NFL, when his Wikipedia is written up in 15, 20 years from now, when his pro career is done, one of the biggest bullet points on his Wikipedia needs to be, I broke the spirit and the will of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish program. We beat them so bad, and the fact that we got in over them made their entire team hang it up and go home early. And who chose to do that? Notre Dame chose that route. And then they said, you know what? The ACC, hey, you made an enemy out of Notre Dame. Who gives a damn? What are you going to do, join the Big Ten? Do it. I bet you won't. That's the thing. What are you threatening with the ACC? What does the ACC stand to lose? What does college football stand to lose if we get less of Notre Dame? I guess we would get less competitive losses out of a team. I guess that would hurt. That would have hurt Miami's. I will give them that. Notre Dame was the best win on Miami's resume. So I do have to be thankful for them. They were a speed bump in our route to the 12-team playoffs.
This is theoretically speaking, after all, in the theoretical that Notre Dame beat Texas A&M, lost to Miami, and then had another loss on their schedule against, let's say, Pitt. Do you think Notre Dame gets in? I think they do. I think they get in over Miami.
Yeah, I was about to say, it feels like.
Or maybe they bounce Texas A&M out because then A&M would have 2 losses.
Yeah, that would be
one would be the last game of the season.
That probably would be more likely the case that Miami and Notre Dame get in over Texas A&M. But let's just take a hypothetical world in which Texas A&M wasn't that team. You know, they get the win over A&M, but A&M's still in. There's still one spot left, and it's between Miami and Notre Dame. And Notre Dame is a 2-loss team like Miami, but they have a Texas A&M-sized win on their calendar. I do think because of the propaganda and the seemingly willingness to fold to them.
The fact that it was this close now, that's enough to say they probably would have gotten in.
And you know what's funny, CK? It's funny you bring that up. I didn't even get a chance to, and I'm going to cut this off first. I didn't even get a chance to actually fully embrace and celebrate and be happy about the win, or not the win, but the announcement of Miami getting in the playoffs, because after I saw Alabama at 9, there was this I had this weird feeling that overcame me as I sat on the couch and waited to see if it was Notre Dame or Miami at 10. And that angst between 9 and 10, all I could think was, why the hell am I even in this position stressing this? How in the world have we gotten to a place in the college football world where I am actually concerned that a team that we beat would get in over us with a similar, if not lesser, resume? And then when Miami did get selected at 10, I couldn't even truly celebrate because all I could think was, this was stupid as hell. This was a bad process by the selection committee. It was a terrible precedent that they set by even ranking Notre Dame ahead of Miami the whole way through until the end. And then to wait until the last minute to flip Miami over Notre Dame, it felt like I was being toyed with.
Yeah, it definitely was that. What toying with is the way to put it. And even ESPN is attacking their own process with the Tuesday night ranking show.
Right.
Where Herb Street against it, vehemently against the ranking show now. And it's right because it leaves room for dramatic knee-jerk reactions to losses that are hard to undo when you show your work.
Yeah, the showing of the work every Tuesday night does hurt.
If they rank these teams when it matters, yesterday, when you have your complete data in front of you, that's what should be cared about.
If we never had the Tuesday night shows over and over again, I would have never been stressing.
Yeah.
Sunday. I would have known that we were going to be in. I would have been like, is it 9 or is it 10? I would have never assumed they would have Notre Dame over us. The only reason why Notre Dame Fighting Irish fans and people that support them even assumed Notre Dame would be over Miami or thought maybe that there was an argument to be had there was because they ranked them that way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, I said, how stupid would people have sounded saying, hey, I don't know about this, man. Miami over Notre Dame? I need to see it.
Exactly.
So stupid, man. Yeah, we got to find a way to do this better. 888-760-3776. Notre Dame being left out of the playoffs is what? Notre Dame being left out of the playoffs is what? Fill in the blank. To me, it's just. It's right. They were undeserving. And them picking up their ball and leaving, them deciding we're not going to play in a bowl game, we're done with our season, you guys aren't worthy of our time anymore, good. I didn't want to see that pathetic gold helmet, them golden domes get trotted out there anyway. Save it. Save it for next season. Pull back up next year when you got a chance to win the national title, since y'all are too good to play in a bowl game. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, welcome to being treated like a pro. You know who joined us on the Baptist Health Hotline earlier this week, or last week? Mario Cristobal.
Yeah.
Head coach of the Canes, who he refused the whole way through. I got to give him credit. He refused the whole way through on his press tour, which we were involved in, that I'm sure did help sway a bit to get Miami in.
We brought up points where someone on the committee said, I hadn't thought about it that way.
Guys, this guy's kind of intelligent, theoretically. To be honest with you, I'm surprised he withheld diminishing anything Notre Dame did or talking down on any of the other teams on their schedule. He was very, very poised and very careful about the way in which he prompted that Miami is deserving and the other teams around them should be behind them without being disrespectful or denigrating anything those teams did. If you want to watch back that interview with Mario Cristobal at ESPN South Florida, but he joined us on the Baptist Health Hotline. Welcome to pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health. From sports injuries to everyday aches, our expert team delivers the same advanced care trusted by the pros. That's right, the professionals. So get back to the life and the activities you love, because you don't have to be a professional to get the orthopedic care that is pro-level. No, they'll come to you. They will make you feel like a pro in the way in which they treat you. And the way to learn more about them is going online to baptisthealth.net/ortho. You got pain, you got soreness, need to get back right? Tap in with Baptist Health. Learn more at baptisthealth.net/ortho. We'll open up the Baptist Health hotlines here because I'm curious how you feel about Notre Dame being left out of the 12-team playoff and then quitting in the middle of their football season. Dave is in West Palm. Dave, you're here on Theoretically Speaking. And Dave, how do you feel about the Fighting Irish having no fight left in them anymore?
Well, first off, Theo and Chris, thanks for taking the call. I'm a big follower of your show.
Appreciate you.
So
Appreciate you, Dave.
Talk to you guys. I'm torn because part of me is like they should never have been ranked ahead of Miami to begin with. So it's just kind of like, well, there might be a chance. But then when you start hearing, well, why they're ranked ahead, okay, both losses, they lost to two top-ranked teams by 4 points. Miami lost to SMU by 7. Texas A&M lost by, I think, 10 or 13 to Texas. Yeah, to Texas.
Yeah.
So I get it. That's something to compare. And then you got Bama that loses. They get spanked in the SEC championship. So they're going to be the first 3-loss team in that 12-team bracket. So I get that part. But, this whole, look, I've been following Notre Dame. Just so you know a little bit about me. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, I can hear it.
And I've been following thank you. I've been following Notre Dame since I was in high school at Brooklyn Tech. And I knew nothing about college football until the day I saw, the Irish running that I formation, and then Tony Rice was at quarterback.
Yeah.
Derek Brown was a tight end. You had the Rocket as a wide receiver. I was captivated by them. So I've been a fan for a long time. And you're right, they haven't been relevant, but they became relevant, I think, when Brian Kelly left, Marcus Freeman takes over. Now they got a new identity, So that, to me, like they came back. And then last year they really showed something, and they could have built on that. Then you lose to Miami. They should never have been ranked ahead of Miami.
Thank you.
Just because they hit the first game of the season. And then you lose by 1 to Texas A&M. So you lost to 2 good teams in the top 10.
Yeah.
All right? That's nothing to cry about. So I think the AD is wrong on this, and I feel bad for Marcus Freeman because I'm a big fan of Marcus. I've been watching him since he was a linebacker with Ohio State.
Good dude.
And the guy is self-made, So for the AD to take this position, then you start hearing all this other stuff.
But Dave, well, you're getting sidetracked, and I appreciate the call, Dave. You're getting sidetracked because I think the essential note that you made was, yes, you follow Notre Dame, you love them, you fell in love with them at an early age, you really appreciate what they bring to the sport, and that's probably one of your favorite teams. You want to see them in. But you made two admissions that I can agree with you on. They should have never been ranked ahead of Miami, and secondly, they are a damn good football team that could possibly make a claim to be one of the 12 best in the nation. The issue is they didn't do it. They could be. Every year it's not gonna be perfect. Every year we're not gonna end up with the 12 best teams because sometimes you're a better team and you lose. But where we get into trouble is when we start assuming a team is better when we've already seen that team actually be worse. And I will say too, for Dave, to Dave's credit there, the AD is making more of a mockery of this school than even what the program did before that by coming out and saying that. We got Devon in where?
In Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia. Devon's in Richmond, Virginia. You're joining us here on Theoretically Speaking. Devon, how you feeling about Notre Dame being left out?
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks for calling.
I'm happy. I'm a Miami fan. I'm a Miami fan. My biggest thing is about, all this crying, right, is that did you watch the game? As you watched the game when they played, it wasn't close. The score was close because they took their foot off the pedal. But Miami was dominating them. You know what I'm saying? They had Love. They had the other running back. The other running back had, I think he had 60 yards. He had a big
he played better.
Get them a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Love wasn't doing anything. The offensive line couldn't stop Miami defensive line. It was nobody on Notre Dame was better than Miami, except for the quarterback. He had some blown cover. He had a good game.
Yeah, the blown covers thrown out to the tight end.
Tight end that the number one, the linebacker blew.
Yeah.
That got them their first score. When they got down, then they got the score. So they didn't do nothing that's what I'm saying. Then they said Notre Dame got better. Anybody gets better when you play lesser competition.
Yes.
You don't look better.
Thank you.
As you take Manise State and they play Texas, they're gonna get blown out. But then when they go back to their conference or whatever, they're gonna look better because they're playing lesser competition.
Yes.
Notre Dame, then they gave up 47 points to Texas A&M, which the game they should have won. They blew on their own. But they gave up 47 points to lose that game, even though they scored 47 themselves. So then they saying, well, we was never ranked with Miami, but Miami got unfairly ranked down when they lost. That's like Alabama. They got blew up by Florida State. They jumped to 20. They got one big win, and they was back up to number 12. They jumped 8-9 spots on one win when other schools don't get that.
And Devon, I appreciate your calling. You're right. You're right by that. The Notre Dame bickering about how they're such a better team. That's the point I've been making. That's the point that Mario Cristobal himself joined us and made. Is that yes, they look better because they're playing lesser competition. They're playing Armed Forces School. They're playing a G5 program. They're playing Stanford. They're playing Syracuse, who rolled over for them in Fran Brown's squad. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of propping up we have to do to the Fighting Irish because they do all that crime.
And whether or not they admit this, and it also was pretty interesting. Listening to Josh Pate, who contributes a bunch on ESPN these days, he's a very well-respected voice in the college football space. Before conference championship weekend did unfold, he mentioned the fact if Duke wins the ACC, they would not be in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Would it then tantalize the committee to have that as a notch in the pros column of putting Miami in the college football playoff so that there's at least one power conference ACC school in the college football playoff? And when the Hunter Yurachek was asked about that by Reese Davis, he said no, that did not matter whatsoever.
I don't think it did. I don't think it should have. What should have mattered was the head-to-head. Maybe that's reason number 5, but Miami was better than Notre Dame this year.
And I also think that it matters most how you play against good teams because in the playoff there are good teams.
You're only playing good teams. I'm sorry, hey, you're not going to be able to play Stanford. You're not playing Syracuse when you get there, Notre Dame. And
exactly.
Guess what?
This is not a who looks the best against Stanford competition.
No.
Notre Dame put up 85 points against the Cardinal, but Alabama only put up 55. That does not tell you that Notre Dame is a better football team than Alabama in that situation.
And to Devon's point, Notre Dame was down 21-7 entering the fourth quarter. CCAT, you and I were at that game. They outscored Miami, 17-3 in the fourth, 17-6. But they made it close. They came back. It was a good fight. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Notre Dame. But Miami was manhandling them for the most of that game.
And you know what? The committee said they did watch that game yesterday.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, I forgot that.
Wait. Yeah,
Wait a second, guys.
My daughter had a dance recital that night. I missed it. Dang it. Okay, good. Now I see what the hubbub is.
It makes sense. And then we had the excuse the NFL wasn't even started yet, so I don't know why they forgot about that game. You know what? Even if the NFL had started, they would have been able to watch NFL games, college games, basketball games, hockey games, all of them in one roof if they went to a Duffy Sports Grill.
I could have used Duffy's in my life yesterday.
Oh, man. Yeah, you was out golfing. You were watching your Ravens get bludgeoned. We're going to get to why I'm wearing this ugly red outfit in a little bit, too. But Duffy Sports Grill is the place to go to watch your sports on the weekend, on the weekday nights. You got Monday Night Football tonight. How about pull up to a Duffy's and enjoy a full roster of full new football features like barbecue pulled pork nachos, your hand-cut tortilla chips, slow-cooked pork shoulder, Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce. How about the Duffy's Double Smash Burger, though? 2 certified Angus beef patties smashed with caramelized onions, topped with melty aged sharp cheddar, dill pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, a whole 9. Plus, Duffy's got the award-winning wings now tossed in not 1, not 2, but 17 different flavors of sauces. And as always at Duffy Sports Grill, you got 2-for-1 drinks all day, every freaking day. Game day buckets all season long as well, so enjoy your 2-for-1 drinks or game day bucket. Have it your way that way. And, of course, during game day, 80 or more televisions in every single location. You will not miss a minute of the action. Duffy'sMVP.com. That's the website, Duffy'sMVP.com. Sign up today for your rewards. Remember, you'll become an MVP like me. Start tracking those rewards. Duffy'sMVP.com. Tap in with the good people. We're tapping in with good people on the other side. We're bringing in Mike Tannenbaum to break down NFL's Week 14. I will ask him if my Chiefs are eliminated outright, and I'll explain why I'm wearing this ugly red Texans gear. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
This is the Delray Beach Open, the ultimate tennis party. Don't miss today's top professional tennis stars and legends in downtown Delray Beach. February 13th through the 22nd. It's 10 days of 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Come for the non-stop action on and off the court. Snap pics and post memories at the DBO. Join us for a jam-packed week of ATP tennis matches where champions play and fans party. DelrayBeachOpen.com for info. Tickets on sale now.
Snowbirds, welcome back. Time to trade your coats and hats for swim trunks and sunscreen. And get your home ready for company. Before the family arrives, make sure your home's water is in top shape. Hard water and hidden minerals can leave spots on dishes, dull your laundry, and dry out your skin. Not exactly festive. Schedule your free water test today before the holiday rush. Culligan will make sure your water is as clear and welcoming as that ocean view. Visit Culligan.com or just say,
Hey, Culligan!
Hey everybody, it's Cade Chumsland. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be awarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
You see that new welcome offer? Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. I think we got to jump on this.
What's John Daly think?
I think you got to grip it and rip it.
Grip it?
And rip it.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable and bonus bets. Not a cash offer. Offered by Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight and your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Hey Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
This is the Inter Miami save of the game.
Won by Vancouver. Ocampo 30 yards out. He recycles a ball. A header in the area. Reco Rios Novo just denied. Sabi from the top of the 6-yard box, point blank. And it remains 1-0. Now that was onside. Rios Novo just denied a Sabi half volley on a ball that was headed to the back.
Brought to you by PNC Bank. PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Miami and Texas A&M play December 20th in College Station. CK, who you think Notre Dame's going to be rooting for?
The team that they think, I don't know.
Lost to both of them. You're rooting for the right to say, hey, see, I told y'all we should have been in, but no matter the outcome of that game, the team that wins is going to be a team that also beats you in the team. Yeah, tough spot to be in if you're Notre Dame. Great spot to be in if you're C-Cat and Theo Dorsey, because on Theoretically Speaking here, we're now joined by our guy, Mike Tannenbaum. And they say it pays the cost to be the boss. This guy knows a thing about being a boss, former boss of football operations for the Miami Dolphins, former GM of the Jets, current ESPN NFL insider, and Mike T. What are your thoughts? I've heard everybody in the world's thoughts on Notre Dame being left out and then them quitting on their college football season afterwards. What are your thoughts on Notre Dame being left out of the playoffs?
I think the committee got it right. When it comes to head-to-head, it, to me, candidly, it was a no-brainer. And obviously, I've seen a lot of the discourse between the ACC and Pete Bevacqua, the Notre Dame athletic director. Look, I think you can make an argument about should Alabama been in. Yesterday on our ESPN radio show, we had Hunter Yurachek on with us after the selection show, and we asked him about, it looked like BYU is getting penalized for how they played against Texas Tech, but Alabama didn't. And his point, which was really interesting, guys, was he said, hey, look, Texas Tech beat BYU twice. Alabama did beat Georgia. And I think that's the reason they were kind of like clinging by a thread there to stay in. But I could certainly think, like, to me today, if Notre Dame and Alabama played on a neutral field, I think Notre Dame would be favored.
Yeah, no, I think Notre Dame would be favored. I also think Notre Dame would win, but I think that boils down to, it's similar to when we have the MVP debate in the NBA and in the NFL. A lot of times what we're really arguing is not who the MVP is, but what is the MVP. And I'm curious, like in the college football 12-team playoff selection committee room, sometimes we think something about a team and we're wrong. Like, I'm sitting here wearing a Texans jersey today because I thought the Chiefs were going to win last night, and I was wrong. Vegas thought that Notre Dame should have been favored against Miami in week 1, and they were wrong. So I do think that head-to-head has to matter. I do think that resume has to matter over who we think is the better team. But I do think that's what people are arguing today. It's not about whether or not Notre Dame had the resume to get in. It's, do you think they're one of the 12 best teams in the nation? Yes, they were. But being a better team doesn't buy you the victories on the field, right? Like, you've been a part of organizations where you had the better team and sometimes you lose.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And again, the Miami Notre Dame thing, the other thing I would say, there's been a lot of criticism about the ESPN shows and all that. Like, I never thought Notre Dame should be ahead of Miami because they played. Like, sometimes sports debates are very complicated and hard. This one's really easy. Like, the records were the same. All the other metrics were reasonably close. Like, one was better than the other. Again, to me, unfortunately, my son's team lost UVA. The other thing I was curious was, like, if UVA had beaten Duke, which we had an epic 96-yard drive to send it to overtime, thought we were going to pull that off, would Miami not have gotten in if the ACC had gotten UVA into the CFP?
And Hunter said, to his credit, he said that had nothing to do with it. They weren't, shoehorning an ACC team in. I am curious as well, like you, if that did influence their decision, since Duke wasn't ranked high enough and we get 2 G5s, they were like, we got to get an ACC representative. But I think, like you and like most sane people around the sport, if that had been the case, if it came down to Notre Dame and Miami and the Fighting Irish got in over Miami, I think it would have been an absolute travesty and one of the worst representations of what this sport is supposed to be about. And it's specifically because they actually played a football game against each other. I don't need a spreadsheet to judge which team was better when one of them won. So
yeah, totally agree.
Speaking of which team was better when one of them won, who was better last night, the Chiefs or the Texans, man? I mean, that one right there was I've never seen a defensive battle, a gritty, ugly fight like that was also equally entertaining. But even as a Chiefs fan, I got to say, that was a quality football game last night that ended 20-10 and saw the Texans come out on top.
Yeah, I agree with what Andy Reid said. I was shocked that they went with it for it. It was at a point in the game, it was 10-10. They were at their own 32-yard line. It was a long yard and a half, 2 yards. I think if they had punted there, they probably would have won the game because they were playing so good on defense at that point in the game. They gave Houston a short field, and that was really the end of it. But Travis Kelce, huge drop. Rashee Rice, huge drop. And Patrick Mahomes, to me, we talk about greatness that make those around you better. And he was missing 60% of his offensive line, Theo, and he played incredibly well.
That's what I think that's what the hardest pill to swallow here is. Sure, it does feel like the Chiefs' season might be closed and over with, but doesn't it feel like the Kansas City Chiefs, even at 6-7, even as bad as they've been, as the offensive line has had health issues and whatnot, if they were to find a way to sneak into the playoffs, you still would favor them, right? You still would think they're a team that could actually make a run and win a Super Bowl. Like, we might be looking at the quote-unquote Notre Dame of the NFL, of them being a really good team getting left out of the dance because of a couple plays.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if they get in, nobody will want to play them.
Yeah, except for maybe the Texans. Just how good is this Texans defense, man? I look at the pieces around it. They don't have the brand names. But Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley Jr., like they have dudes who are young and also extremely good. Like, is that the best defense in the NFL we watched last night?
I think so because they have players at all three levels. Danielle Hunter and obviously Will Anderson, Al Shai at from FAU at linebacker is a really good player, and then Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie, Kalen Bullock, Kwame Lasser. That's a great secondary. So at all three levels, they have players that are productive, physical, great instincts. So because you could talk about the Browns with Myles Garrett and all, although Carson Schlesinger is having a good year, but I just think they have really, really good players at all three levels.
With Mike Tannenbaum here on Theoretically Speaking, one last question about the Sunday Night Football outcome on the Chiefs side. You have sat in the general manager office before. In fact, it looks like you're sitting in one right now. This looks like a good suite for a general manager where we're seeing you here now. What's the number one thing the Chiefs need to retool on this offseason to make sure that they're not in the same situation next year?
Two things. Speed at running back. They really lack explosive playmaking at the running back position. Pacheco, Hunt, good players, not great. And then to me, another pass rusher. Like they get there because they blitz a lot. They get there. Karlaftis is good. Chris Jones is definitely closer to the end, but I'm talking about a traditional edge rusher. I actually think they're okay at receiver. Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. If they're all healthy, I think they're fine there. So I think it's speed at running back and a traditional outside edge rusher who can sort of like not upgrade Karlaftis because he's fine, but Charles Omenihu is a good rotational guy, but they need another guy with real juice.
Kicking it forward, looking at the rest of the AFC here, the Miami Dolphins now sit at 6-7. Similar record to the Chiefs, and actually still have a door open to make the playoffs. You got a Broncos team that just can't seem to lose. You got a Patriots team that does the same. Like, who is the team to beat right now in the AFC? Now that all of the traditional powers don't seem so powerful anymore.
Yeah, the one other team I throw in there is Buffalo, just because they got Superman playing quarterback right now. There was a play yesterday, Theo, where he ran the ball for a 40-yard touchdown, and Cincinnati was playing man-to-man. So, again, for our audience, like when you turn your back and you can run the way he can run, it really dictates coverages. And I just think that's a team that no one will want to play in the playoffs. I think New England's like a year away because Stephon Diggs has been rejuvenated. They got Kyle Williams, but I don't think they're really deep at their skill players. So I think that puts a little bit of a ceiling on them. I like Buffalo just because of the quarterback.
Yeah, and speaking of the quarterback, remaining in the AFC, a team that 3 weeks ago we couldn't ignore as a potential contender now feels like they're out of it. We did get the report back. Officially, it is an Achilles tear for Daniel Jones. He is going to be out for the season, and the Colts are out of their starting QB. Former Notre Dame Fighting Irish quarterback Riley Leonard in there. First off, what did you like or not like out of Riley Leonard when he stepped in?
Well, and by the way, reportedly he has a knee issue, so he may not be able to go this week either.
Oh.
But he's a good athlete. He's from Mobile, Alabama. Could have played basketball at Division I level. Had a really good career at Duke. Finished off at Notre Dame. Has some upside. He's far from a finish. There's a lot of polish left for his game. He is not a final product by any stretch. But this time of year, there's just not a lot of guys out there. The thing to me, Theo, that's super interesting is Anthony Richardson. Clearly he wasn't ready. He was the fourth pick. He had an extremely unusual injury where he broke the bone around his eye socket where a piece of equipment came off the wall. I don't know where he is health-wise, but to me, what a great NFL story if he could come back this year, being left for absolute dead and leave the Colts. I would love that. That's where like the NFL just, you can't make it up.
That's what I was just about to think. Like you saying that, and it's the thing, you never know where their storybooks, compelling pieces are going to come. Like people thought maybe the Vikings were going to have that last week when our guy replaced J.J. McCarthy and it didn't happen. Nobody saw Brock Purdy happening. Nobody saw the return of Sam Darnold. So, yeah, there's a chance that Anthony Richardson is the savior, even though I probably wouldn't count on it. Would you count on that, CK? That's not necessarily.
Maybe not, but stranger things have happened. But you know what, Mike? My attention was driven in the 1 o'clock slate yesterday to Steelers, Ravens. And full disclosure, I'm a Ravens fan. So I watched that game. I was frustrated with many reasons. And it reached a fever pitch when Isaiah Likely's touchdown catch with, I believe, under 3 minutes to go in the game that would have put the Ravens up 1 with a point after pending was taken off the board as they deemed he did not complete the process of the catch. That dominated my attention and my takeaway from that game. What did you leave Ravens-Steelers thinking about?
I thought Aaron Rodgers made the one or two throws that we've been waiting to see, and why they got DK Metcalf, and that was the difference in the game. I think Lamar is just not 100%. One of the things, like if you guys go back and look over the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's been on the injury report with like different body parts. It's not just like one thing, and he, to me, just hasn't looked the same. I think their defense has been better, like last year, started off slowly, but I think Lamar, it just doesn't look like he's been right. I think they should have really leaned on Derrick Henry a lot more than they have. They lead the league in yards per rush, and it just seems like this is a team that's really having issues. And I if you had to point to one thing, I would think it'd be, his health and the consistency of what he's dealt with all year. So, look, we'll see what happens. Joe Burrow gives Cincinnati a fighting chance. I mean, the division winner guys literally may be 8-9 this year.
Yeah, and like just this time last year, we're talking about this is one of the best divisions in football. Right now, it's looking more like the NFC South than the AFC North. Mike Tannenbaum, we'll let you go. The Virginia Cavaliers, where are they going to be playing their bowl game? Do you know yet?
Yeah, we're going to be December 27th. We'll be in Jacksonville in the Gator Bowl against the Missouri Tigers. Should be a great game. Missouri is a good team. They lost their quarterback, Bo Perbula, and unfortunately we lost in overtime, but it should be a good they have never won 11 games in the history of University of Virginia, and we got a shot this year.
Good on Virginia for not taking their football and going home like Notre Dame, and good on Mike T for showing up and dropping some Mike Tannenbaums on us here on a Monday. We'll catch up with you next week, Doc.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. That is our guy, Mike Tannenbaum, as always, dropping the Mike Tannenbaums. And I will say I did kind of want to see Virginia win for him and his son. I want to see Virginia win that ACC championship game and get in, because it also wouldn't have affected Miami's chances at all.
We find out in retrospect. I was rooting for the perfect storm for Miami. And you needed several things to happen to maybe just by a slice of a percentage point greater Miami's chance of making the playoffs. And everything happened. Quite literally, everything happened that needed to happen.
Yeah.
That would have given a reason to put Miami in over insert team here. And they did it with BYU. That did matter.
That mattered. BYU mattered. I don't think the conference thing mattered, though. I think that Virginia and Miami would have been in.
I don't know, man. It's tough to put you triple the amount of teams that you have in the college football playoff as a reaction to leaving out Florida State from a 4-team playoff. So you're telling me you're going to leave a Power 4 conference out of a 12-team playoff when you have a team on the bubble? I feel like if you've got a team on the bubble, there is some biases that you might not know were there that come out when it comes down to rubber to the road.
But which bias should stand out more? Miami being the lone ACC team or Miami beating the team you're comparing them to? That's all I'm saying.
When you've got an excuse for it.
There's no excuse, though. There is no excuse.
What I'm saying is you have both going in a direction. You have both putting okay, so if Virginia was in the playoff and you needed to bounce out somebody else, I guess so. Sure.
That's what I'm saying. Notre Dame would still be out. Who we got here? David's in Jupiter. David is in Jupiter. He joins us here on Theoretically Speaking. Good people. Dave, which side of the fence are you on here? You pro Notre Dame or anti-Fighting Irish?
I'm actually a Notre Dame fan, but I'd make a separate argument. I think Miami's schedule was equally as garbage as Notre Dame's schedule, and if you're trying to get the 12 best teams and the one with the best strength of schedule and the best wins, then you got to put in Vandy or Texas over both Notre Dame and Miami.
Well, and I've heard people make this argument about Vandy and Texas. Maybe you can talk to me about Texas, but who did Vanderbilt beat? They played a tough schedule. Who did they beat? That's similar to Notre Dame. You played a couple of tough teams in the beginning of the season in Texas A&M and Miami, but you didn't beat either one of them. You beat USC. Until you can show me the team they beat and don't give me Tennessee, I can't give you that excuse. So what is your argument for Vandy over Miami?
Well, you're right about, the ranked teams that didn't end up being good in the end. I could say the same for, Notre Dame or Miami. The problem with Miami that I have is I know that they played Notre Dame and they beat them, but man, those two losses were just absolutely pathetic. And the losses by both Vandy and Texas, I think, were much better losses. I just think you could have killed the whole conversation and all of the controversy by just putting in a team that had, better wins than both of those teams.
And Dave, what I'll say this, and number one, if you watched the Louisville and the SMU game and you saw some of the stuff going on, it wasn't a terrible loss. There was one game where Carson Beck couldn't keep the ball on, couldn't stop throwing the ball to the other team, and the other one, questionable calls, weird overtime game on the road, whatever. I'm not going to get into the excuses game, but I do.
You just did. Carson Beck's the quarterback for the Hurricanes, and he's going to play in the playoff.
All right, so what happened when they played Notre Dame then?
No, I know. Yeah. And Dave, I'm sticking up for David and Jupiter.
He said horrible losses. Well, forgive me if I'm wrong, but Miami played Florida, right?
Yes.
Miami beat the will out of Florida, 26-7. This Texas team that Dave wants to go in over Miami, I think they played Florida too.
Yes.
Would that be a similar opponent, or does it not count?
It counts.
Okay. And there I go. Like, what do you? There is. No
I think you can
excuse.
admit losses are bad, but then counter with.
It's
a
bad
good
loss.
thing that we are not deciding who is going to play another run-of-the-mill regular season schedule, because then you might think, okay, I think another team would have a better regular season, but you're thinking of a playoff.
I'm going to defend Miami's losses, not because I think they should have lost those games. They should have won them, and they are bad losses. But people are inflating the level of loss they are, and people are deflating the level of losses on these other teams' resumes. Florida beat Texas. That's a bad loss. Florida didn't make a bowl game. Miami's two losses were to SMU and Louisville. They both were 8-win teams. Stop acting as if Florida got mollywopped by Texas. Miami lost in overtime on the road. It's theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
All right, let's talk about your game day routine. You've got the jersey, the cooler, the tickets, but what about your ride? Show up looking like a champion with Unlimited Auto Wash Club. With 6 South Florida locations, every membership includes unlimited 100% hand washes, 1 per day, every day. From a quick exterior shine to the ultimate special with wax, Rain-X, and interior touch-ups, Unlimited Auto Wash keeps your car looking its best all season long. Call 561-WASH-ME-TOO or visit a location today.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
Attention business owners, the next several months are going to be super busy. Why not let us take some of the burden off of you? Get the help you need from Intelligent Office in Palm Beach Gardens. Professional live receptionists to answer, screen, and forward all of your calls to you live. Why do you need a virtual assistant? No high salaries, no holidays or sick pay, no call-outs, no turnover, and no additional equipment. Call 561-472-8400 or visit intelligentoffice.com to learn more how we can help you streamline your day.
Touchdown!
Racetrack is proud to support our local high school football teams. Whether it's Friday night lights or tailgate parties, Racetrack has whatever gets you going to fuel all the gridiron excitement this fall. Grab your favorite snacks, crispy chips, delicious Nathan's hot dogs, sweet treats, or our house-made pizza slices. Don't forget to quench your thirst with a variety of ice-cold drinks. Racetrack, your one-stop shop to fuel your football Fridays.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Kevin McHale, tax partner in Anshin's Real Estate Group.
Under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, recent changes to the Opportunity Zone program include a rolling capital gains deferral period, updated basis step-up and tax-free appreciation rules, new categories of qualifying funds, and revised criteria for the census tracts that qualify as Opportunity Zones. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help real estate professionals navigate through the new Qualified Opportunity Zone rules so their investments align with their goals of maximizing deferrals, minimizing capital gains, and ensuring compliance with the updated legislation. If you're launching a new fund or restructuring existing investments, let Anshin strategically guide you through these changes and deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
The PGA Tour is back in Palm Beach. The Cognizant Classic returns February 25th through March 1st to the Champion Course at PGA National Resort and Spa. Be here to watch PGA Tour players take on the Bear Trap, one of the toughest stretches in golf, while enjoying elevated fan activities around every corner. Experience the energy with your friends and take in the excitement of this can't-miss event. Tickets are on sale now at thecognizantclassic.com.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. This is Theoretically Speaking. This is the happy hour, and I am delighted. I am delighted to be with you here today. Sure, my Chiefs lost in prime time last night. Sure, I've been looking at mock drafts and seeing how good this Kenyon Sadiq fella is out of Oregon. Ooh, pretty shifty tight end, pretty big, pretty muscular. Be a great replacement for Travis Kelce. Sure, it was a rough end to my Sunday night, but damn it. The Miami Hurricanes are in the 12-team playoff. I will trade this feeling that I have about the Chiefs for that. I am very pleased with this. Also, it feels even better to know that the 2025 Miami Hurricanes were the team that broke the will and the spirit and ended the season early of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish because they can't stand to have it their way. They're some big babies. And that was adorable. C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. Tina is pulling up soon. And you know what, C-Cat? Can't wait till me and Tina are kicking it at the South Florida Fair. That's coming soon, dog.
About that time of year, doors are opening in less than a month.
January 16th. We're going to bring the show out there.
A little bit more than a month.
Yeah, it's all right. No, you're getting ahead of yourself. You live in the future, bro. You're ahead of your time.
You said it, not me.
Some pirates spend their miserable lives searching for gold and silver. No. Strike the sails and cast the anchor, mateys. I see floating chest. I see a floating chest, like a treasure chest.
All right, we got to talk to the salesperson that wrote this piece of paper.
There's tickets to the South Florida Fair available, and I'm supposed to talk to you guys like I'm a pirate, but
I want this person called out by name.
Yeah.
Who wrote that piece of paper?
Who wrote the South Florida Fair script?
Because we don't need a piece of paper to tell us what's going on at the South Florida Fair.
I can tell you what it is. All right, it's going to be pirate themed. There's going to be rides, games, grubs, funnel cakes, cheese curds, a lot of fun and festivities. Nobody needs to be sold on going to the South Florida Fair. It's one of the best things to do annually in Palm Beach County, and it's right around the corner, January 16th. And what I do love is that tickets are available right now. Go to southfloridafair.com to get your tickets. You can go to Publix or go to southfloridafair.com. Get your tickets to the fair. Theoretically speaking, it's going to be pulling up there as well. Cannot wait to ride some rides, check out some livestock, and also, of course, grub down.
You can simulate milking a cow.
You can, and you did.
I did.
And you got yourself a cowboy hat. You still wear that from time to time.
It's in my car right now.
Wow. SouthFloridaFair.com. Memories that last a lifetime.
I like the South Florida Fair, man. It's a good time.
That's the thing that people forget is, because I grew up in Texas, we had the carnival, we had the rodeo. That fair got too convoluted. It got too overcrowded. The traffic to get there was bad. The South Florida Fair is seamless. Mm-hmm. You can get through the gates with ease. And once you're in there, the party starts. They have parades. Like, have you ever stuck around for the parade at the end?
I missed the parade, no.
Oh, man. I rode in the parade one year, which was a lot of fun. Like throwing beach, rolling around. It was a great time. SouthFloridaFair.com. Check out all of that. Get your tickets. We'll see you there.
It's a destination fair across the nation. Like, you see, like, people that bring their food trucks, and they're from coast to coast. They know South Florida Fair is where it's at.
In fact, you know what might be a good way to get to the South Florida Fair?
How?
The SafeBound Get Around is brought to you by SafeBound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with SafeBound.
SafeBound Get Around. City to city, town to town, your boy get down. C-Cat, you're the conductor. Where we going first?
Next stop.
We are going to Baltimore, Maryland, where the best rivalry in the NFL took place. Its first game of the season yesterday, and the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Ravens in their house 27-22. I asked Mike T this earlier. I didn't get your answer, Theo. What do you take away from this? Because Aaron Rodgers looks pretty mobile, and in your words, in our group chat, you said he looked more mobile than Lamar.
He is right now. Which should tell you a lot about the state of Lamar Jackson. But also, man, this just feels like a lost season for the Baltimore Ravens. It is. And it sucks because it coincides with a lost season for the Chiefs. You know, if you're the Ravens, oh, my God, look at that. Look at the standings. The Chiefs might not be there in the big dance. This is our chance. And then you face plant. And you have games where Lamar's not healthy enough to play, and then you have him playing through injury and not looking like the Lamar Jackson that we know and love to be a 2/3-time MVP, Heisman Trophy winner, and one of the best quarterbacks in the league. This is not the Ravens. And there does need to be some kind of way to fix it. You know, one of the things I realized, too, about the Ravens, Lamar, because he is hindered, his mobility is hindered, he's having to play more from the pocket. And that team is just not built with the weapons and the artillery for him to sit there in the pocket and play in that fashion. So the offense is just not going to work like this.
Also handed them 4 points on a phantom leverage call on a field goal.
Oh, that was bad.
You also took away that touchdown. I am not someone who likes to complain about officiating. I'm not. I think it's lazy. I think it's cheap. But Isaiah Likely caught the touchdown, got 2 feet inbounds.
Yeah.
Had to curve it, held it away from the defender. The play was over. The touchdown was scored, and it was called on the field a touchdown. I could not believe they took that go-ahead score off the board.
What's funny is if Isaiah Likely had did the same thing, but instead of it getting knocked out of his hands, threw the ball up in the air, it would have been a touchdown. It was only the fact that the defender pushed it out of his hands, which the play was over. He got 2 feet down. I didn't like that call. But again, sometimes complaining about the refs is Bush League. It is low. It is stupid. It's like, all right, whatever. But sometimes, refs do influence the outcomes of games. They do. Like, their calls literally can influence the outcome of a game. So it's not an excuse, it's a reason.
Thank you very much.
Next stop.
Tell you what, in a packed with storylines, controversy, and debate football weekend, there is one school out of Bloomington, Indiana that saved us from the what-ifs, saved us for the controversies. And the new Big Ten champion is the Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana beat Ohio State in Indianapolis 13-10. Maybe they clinched a Heisman for Fernando Mendoza. Take a listen to what he had to say on Fox after the big win.
The great coaches, great teammates, everyone we have around us, we were able to pull this off. Whoever thought the Hoosiers would be here, but now the Hoosiers are flipping champs. Let's go!
Flipping champs!
The funniest part about that interview is, if he had done that interview in any other scenario, in any other place, people would have assumed he was on something. Like, he couldn't have been because he just played a football game. So we're like, oh, it's smelling salts? I don't know. That dude was juiced after that game. Fernando Mendoza, South Florida native, fellow Duffy's lover, and potential Heisman Trophy winner. You got to love that. That'll be back-to-back kids from South Florida to win Heisman trophies.
In one way or another. Yeah.
That'll be crazy. And I will say this, too, about Fernando Mendoza in Indiana. This is why we cannot have a group of dudes in the room assuming things instead of using the actual results. Because think about it like this. Ohio State would have been number one over Indiana if the selection committee had to just decide it and they didn't see them play that football game.
Yeah, both teams had a case to be the number one team in the nation, undefeated, same conference, but they played the game. And we saw who the better team was.
Thank you. And that is why sometimes you have opinions about football and sometimes those opinions are wrong. And that is another reason why you cannot be ranking Notre Dame over Miami, because we saw them play a football game. I don't need a stat sheet. I don't need any analytics. I don't need strength of record. I saw the strength of the teams on the gridiron. One of them was stronger.
Dude, the best story in sports this year is Indiana football.
Yeah.
Curt Cignetti and that Indiana team scored the least amount of points that they have had under Curt Cignetti in the same game of which they beat Ohio State, defending national champions.
Yes. You got to love what they did. You got to love what they provided for college football this year. And you got to wonder, how long can they keep that man in Bloomington, Indiana? I don't want to be that guy. They just re-upped him and everything. I'm just saying, like, when you think about the grand scope, macro level in college football, is he going to be like
I think Michigan's going to want him. Sharon Moore puts together the same season as I know. Exactly. He'll have suitors. Penn State was a suitor for Curt Cignetti.
He feels like the guy, though. He feels like the guy that stays.
And in the day of NIL, if people can cough up the money to replenish the resources that are being rewarded with Big Ten championships, the money will be there.
He just won a Big Ten championship at Indiana,
That's
bro.
Insane. An undefeated
That's crazy.
season.
And nobody's talking about it because we're over here trying to dry up the Notre Dame tears. It's wild. Congrats to the Hoosiers. I forget because I'm thinking about basketball. Shout out Oladipo.
And we've reached our destination, the safe bound get around. That's Tina Town.
We found Tina.
I'm here.
Tina Town.
I was acting.
Wow. What were you acting like?
We were recording something for a end of year video for Good Karma Brands, GKB, and I was asked to be a part of like this part in the video.
Wow.
And I didn't want to give it up. I practiced my lines this morning while I was on my little shake plate thing after the gym. I was like, I was like, wow, they want me to do this? I had a few lines I had to memorize. Nice. And they tried to take it away from me today.
Why'd they try to take it? Oh, they didn't want you to do it anymore.
Because they want to do it at 3:00.
Oh, and you had something to do at 3.
Actually, they tried to do it earlier in the day and our timing just didn't work. And then they were like, we figured out maybe like 2:45. And then I was like, no, I practiced for this. Rehearsed my lines.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Yeah, you can take this role from my cold dead hands.
I like that. I like how strong you were in the paint right there, and you practiced that at CCAT. CCAT, you know a little thing about practice. You know a little. Come on.
Wow.
You be swinging them sticks,
man. You took that weekend and practiced some transitions, didn't you?
Come on, dog. I'll be doing that.
CCAT, I like you without a hat today.
Right.
That makes
And in
one
the
of us.
suit.
Yeah.
Mike Tannenbaum, before he could even speak, before you can join the show, he was like, "C-Cat, man.
You said,
nifty."
what's the occasion? So why you dressed
Like
up?
get married?
Well, Theo, you mentioned how I practice, and I practice my golf game at the Kaiser Golf Coaching Center. It's in West Palm Beach. It's easy to get to off I-95 and the Turnpike. It's the flagship campus of Kaiser University, and I have shaved 10 strokes off my handicap thanks to the Kaiser Golf Coaching Center. They've got indoor facilities. They've got outdoor facilities. You can see video replay just in front of you of your own golf swing, and then you can compare it to those who have mastered the game of golf to see, okay, you need to get your club here in order to strike the ball well. It's perfect. I love the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center because they've got the best facilities, tools, and coaching in the area. Don't wait. Listen, it's now golf season. We are in season here in South Florida. If you're a snowbird just coming on down, don't waste 2 months of your golf season down here on just slapping the ball around the course. You be a hack. Everyone is annoyed with you. Get the lessons you deserve. Seahawks.com is the original website. KaiserGolfCenter.com to get lessons today. You will not regret it. Your golf game will enjoy it.
Justin Herbert expected to play tonight. Los Angeles Chargers, Philadelphia Eagles, Monday Night Football on ESPN. You can watch it and listen to it live here on ESPN 106.3 as well. Little couple of the top dogs in the NFL right now that don't get talked about as much. We're either talking about the conflict in the Eagles locker room or the eventual expected fall of the Chargers, which is likely going to happen in a couple of weeks.
We've got skin in the game in that one, too.
Yeah.
Me and you versus Russo and Rizzo in our Cover 5 pick competition. They're on the Eagles. We are on the Chargers. We need something big from head coach Jim Harbaugh and quarterback Justin Herbert.
Pull it out. He's got one hand, and I'm going to need Justin Herbert to use it wisely. At least his throwing hand's okay. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time to give out some money to the Gardens Mall.
Yes, day 6.
Day 6, 12 days of Christinamas.
On the 6th day of Christinamas, the Gardens Mall gave to me 6 Kendra Scott necklaces, 5 pairs of Nikes,
Yeah.
4 Athleta leggings, 3 Boss Suit coats, 2 Yeti coolers, and 1 Vineyard Vines festive tee.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
We're halfway there.
Would you look at that? Halfway to the moon.
What was 6?
I forgot.
Kendra Scott necklaces.
Okay.
Kendra Scott necklace.
You said it so quickly. I heard necklaces.
You gotta go. Yeah.
Kendra Scott.
Kendra Scott necklaces.
Well, you pick the item, so you can kind of like pace it out depending on the number.
So actually,
Okay.
She doesn't, buddy.
I don't. Yeah, I don't write my song. So for the past.
Oh, you got a ghostwriter?
So Courtney Rukoff,
Yeah.
one of our marketing consultants
Oh,
here, bestie.
Yeah, we've talked about Courtney on the show today.
You
Oh,
did?
is she the one that wrote that?
Yeah.
Oh, she. Hey, we gonna have to get her pen checked. But keep going. No, keep going.
Oh no.
No, it's.
She's done the song since it started.
Wow.
She takes
This does
time
sound
to
like
do
a Courtney
this.
production. Actually, I will say that. That's not in a good or bad way. It just sounds like a Courtney voice.
Courtney gets all 12 stores. She looks at every single store.
Okay.
And she looks at how she can create the song.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It is amazing,
Yeah.
but you're criticizing how she did number 6. Is what you're
No,
saying. Okay.
I'm saying she picked the necklaces. She picked Kendra Scott necklaces.
In the
Kendra
original.
Scott is jewelry.
Right. In the original, what is number 6 for like the 6 days of
know.
Christmas?
I only know my song.
5 golden rings.
It's a lot of birds in the list.
All right, let me look it up. As I look it up, please, let's do the 12 days of Christina.
Okay, so how this works, Tina, you've got a quote from a holiday movie. You're going to say the quote, and then we're going to have people call in to see if they can guess what it is. And if they do,
The first person to guess the correct film that this quote is from will win a $50 gift card to the Gardens Mall.
And Courtney's a great writer.
She's great.
And
This song is great.
6 geese a laying.
Kendra
Scott.
the syllables.
I ain't gonna lie. She's great, but even the great ones have flubs. Look at the Chiefs last night.
So day 11 is the day that I messed up on. I got through all the days. Day 1, and when I got to 11 was a little tough because I don't want to ruin it. You gotta wait till day 11 to hear it. But
6 geese a laying.
6.
Kendra got necklaces.
All right, hold on. Let's just hear it. Can we hear it? Can we hear it right quick?
Wait. Oh, you want to hear it again?
I just want to hear it again
Okay.
to see if it goes 6 geese a laying. Okay.
On the 6th day of Christmas, the Gardens Mall gave to me 6 Kendra Scott necklaces.
No.
Sorry, Courtney. You're a great writer, but all of us, you know, that's not to discredit her pen.
No.
You know,
She's great. This song is great.
That's a great song. It's just the 6th verse could be tweaked.
I think we'll have a big bounce back tomorrow.
Yeah, we are. 7's going to be amazing.
I can feel it in my bones.
Okay.
I can feel it in my Kendra Scott necklace.
Kendra Scott necklace. I don't know if your Texans necklace is from Kendra Scott.
Not mine, so I don't know.
Okay. Not what movie.
No, what movie?
What quote do we got?
No one should be alone on Christmas. No one should be alone on Christmas.
The gears are turning. No one should be alone on Christmas. Which holiday movie is this? $50 Gardens Mall.
888-760-3776.
Okay.
Number to call in.
No one should be alone on Christmas.
Yes.
I've heard this.
Yeah.
I've heard this.
But we said this last week. There's a lot of these quotes that could be in any holiday film.
Right.
So,
Who would
you know,
say
that might be
this?
like a little tough.
Who would say this, though? No one should be alone on Christmas. I feel like, was Mary Poppins in a holiday movie?
I don't think so.
Okay. 888-760-3776. It sounds like a Mary Poppins type line. 888-760-3776.
This film, I actually can't wait to watch. I need to watch it.
Oh, you never watched it?
I have watched it. I watch it every year, though.
Oh, you told us okay, so that narrows it down. You told us a couple of weeks ago, me and C-Cat.
All right, we've got our first contestant, and she comes from Palm Beach Gardens, and her name's Lori.
Big shout, Lori. What you got, Lori?
Yeah, what was the thing alone again? I'm sorry.
The lyrics.
No one should be alone on Christmas.
Was it Never Alone for Christmas?
No one should be alone on Christmas.
Was that Never Alone for Christmas movie?
Okay. Is that the answer?
Is it called the Never Alone Christmas movie?
It is not. That is not the movie
Lori.
that this quote is from.
Almost, Lori. Almost. I appreciate your attempt. We still have an opportunity for $50 to the Gardens Mall to be picked up by any good person who wants to tap in and tell us where this movie comes from. 888-760-3776.
This quote is from a holiday film.
Holiday film.
No one should be alone on Christmas.
Okay.
All right, we've got Kevin, and he comes to us from Stewart.
Kevin Stewart.
What's the answer?
Is the answer the Grinch?
It is.
Wow. Kevin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good reaction.
Kevin, I was going to go with Home Alone.
Oh, that would make sense.
Wow.
Because you
Yeah,
said alone.
the homeless lady under the bridge.
Yeah.
I can see Kevin McAllister saying that.
Come on, no one should be alone for Christmas. You know?
But no.
It was the Grinch.
It was, what is it, Lucy Liu?
Lucy Lusky.
Cindy Lou Who
Okay.
says it.
Oh, it's not Lucy Liu.
It's Cindy Lou Who.
Lucy
who says
Liu.
it.
That's like an actress.
That does sound like a, yeah.
All right. Kevin, congratulations. $50 to the Gardens Mall, man. Don't spend it all in one place. Oh, except for do it at the Gardens Mall.
Actually, no. You should spend it in one place.
Spend it in one place.
In one general place, in the Gardens Mall.
In the Gardens Mall.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Kevin.
Y'all hating on day 6 today.
No, I like day 6. I just think it's a little, it's congested.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes you
Kendra
get
Scott
congested in the
necklaces.
holidays. I mean, you did immediately say, I didn't write it. You took your hands off of it.
Well, I'm not going to take credit either for the song. I did not write the song.
Okay.
The song is amazing.
Song is amazing. Song is
She
amazing.
takes a lot of time and she looks at every single store.
I'm amazed at how many words she jammed into that one bar.
Kendra Scott necklaces.
It's really just a couple more. It's it's 2 syllables too long. 6 geese a laying. 6 Kendra Scott necklaces. No.
But, okay, what else from Kendra Scott? 6 Kendra Scott rings. 6 Kendra Scott charms. I don't know.
Kendra Scott.
Kendra Scott.
Kendra Scott.
Kendra Scott.
Maybe we save her for a different number, you know?
Maybe it didn't flow with all the other places we got.
I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
lucky
sorry.
she's not here today.
I know, yeah, no. That's the only reason why I'm doing
If
this.
she was here today.
Only reason why I'm comfortably doing this is because she cannot attack from afar.
No, the reason we're doing this is because the South Florida Fair copy, man.
Ooh, that is where it started.
Yeah.
It's pirate themed.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, baby. Man, things are churning up. Hey, man, tonight we got the Lou Groza Award.
Yeah.
I know.
Big shout.
You both are going.
Yeah. You're not going?
I'm not going.
Wow.
You don't get to go?
I'm hurt.
I don't get to go.
I'm hurt.
You were left off the invite list.
Mhm.
That stinks.
I'm sore.
Select few.
In fact, I'm so hurt, so sore, I might have to call up Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. BaptistHealth.net. They don't help with hurt feelings, but they do help with hurt joints, sore pain, anything going wrong. You got a crook in your neck, got some injuries that you want to get healed up. How about you jump into some pro-level orthopedic care at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care? If an injury is keeping you from what you love, our expert team is here to get you back in the game. I know you're in that adult league. I know you like to throw the ball around with your kids. Maybe you got some cousins coming to town for the holidays. But you ain't right. Get right and get with the folks that are trusted by the pros, and they want to be ready for you and treat you like a pro as well, because everyone deserves pro-level care. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho to learn more. BaptistHealth.net/ortho. That's the website. Tap in with them. Get right. Don't go through that pain alone. Go with the people that treat you like a pro. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Yeah. Don't get this back to Courtney.
Okay.
Don't tell her that we talked about it.
All right.
All right. So we do have to do our Monday midterms.
Okay.
Do we have time to do our Monday midterms?
Yeah, we sure do have to do them, and they are not getting done today.
Okay.
Tuesday
midterms.
Tuesdays
when we have the complete NFL slate.
You get extra time to study.
Yes, I need some extra time to study. I was kind of like Sunday night. That was miserable. That was miserable watching it. That's why if people are wondering or watching the YouTube stream, why is Theo decked out in Houston Texans gear? I know he's from Houston, but he's a Chiefs fan. Made a bet with Cade Shumslin, who clearly had some insight into what would happen, and I did too. CCAT, let's not forget, I might have made this bet, but I knew the Texans were going to win last night. I picked them in cover 5.
Yeah.
I started their defense in fantasy football. I had a feeling that was going to. 3 interceptions from Patrick Mahomes, though.
Ugh.
Who had a worse Sunday between you and I outside of the result from Miami? Like,
very similar. NFL-wise.
Yeah.
Same record.
Same record, same plight. Both quarterbacks not playing up to their level.
I guess it would be mine because I feel like the Ravens' win was robbed from them, from outside forces via the officiating, and it was a rivalry game. Houston, Kansas City, it's got weird connections to just Theo Dorsey, and that's it.
Yeah, there are the 2 playoff games. There's the Deshaun Watson playoff game. I'll never forget. I was teaching at an elementary school at that point, and the Chiefs. I've always rooted for the Chiefs. I'm from Kansas City. I wasn't full-out Chiefs fan yet, but I had a Chiefs crew neck, and I tortured the whole school that next day by rocking the Chiefs crew neck, and all the kids and the other staffers hated me. So I'll never forget that one. Shout out to the big comeback. More theoretically speaking on the other side, that is Tina, that is CCAT. We're going to have Doug Mosley coming in, who is the executive director of the Boca Raton Bowl, the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, pretty soon with the big announcement. So that's going to be fun as well. And we're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Some pirates spend their miserable lives searching for gold and silver. Strike the sails and cast the anchor, mates. I see a floating chest. Tickets to the South Florida Fair. With rides, games, grubs. There'll be something for every mate in your crew. Forget a soul on your list?
Great last-minute gift.
Give them an experience they'll never forget. With tickets to the South Florida Fair.
Now on sale at Publix and SouthFloridaFair.com. Party with the Pirates opens January 16th in West Palm Beach.
Mondays just got better for the men of Palm Beach County. Unlimited Auto Wash is offering $5 off any wash every Monday at all 6 convenient locations. Men's Monday at Unlimited Auto Wash. Don't miss it.
The NBA is happening Christmas Day. 5 games, 1 unforgettable lineup.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Buckets for breakfast, breakaways for dessert. It's the holiday tradition.
Christmas all day.
With star power from across the globe.
The stars, they are going to be out.
The best gift, you don't even have to unwrap it.
We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
NBA Christmas Day begins at noon Eastern on ABC and ESPN.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/125 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Hey, it's Tina. Okay, let's be real. When you need tires or a battery, you want someone you can actually trust, right? That's why I go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been keeping South Florida moving for over 50 years, and they're still family-owned. They've got all the big tire brands, plus batteries for pretty much everything. Their best price out the door guarantee means you know you're getting the best deal. So next time your car needs something, don't stress. Just go to St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. Trust me, they've got you covered.
The final fight night of 2025 is here. Brandon Royval versus Manel Kopp. The perfect flyweight showdown to end the year. It's a title eliminator as the winner jumps right back into contention for the belt, while the loser will have a long way back to the top of the mountain. Hopefully the third time's the charm, as the past two times these guys were slated to face each other, Kopp pulled out, which has been his biggest issue in the UFC. But if both fighters make the walk, it's guaranteed to be fireworks. Twin Peaks is your ultimate UFC headquarters for all the big pay-per-view cards and every fight night in between. Enjoy an ice-cold 29-degree draft beer and made-from-scratch favorites from the kitchen as you watch all the fights on one of the big-screen HD TVs. With Twin Peaks as your fight night headquarters, there's never a bad seat in the house. And you get to enjoy all of the fights without a cover. Twin Peaks is your go-to for eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Touchdown! Racetrack is proud to support our local high school football teams. Whether it's Friday night lights or tailgate parties, Racetrack has whatever gets you going to fuel all the gridiron excitement this fall. Grab your favorite snacks, crispy chips, delicious Nathan's hot dogs, sweet treats, or our house-made pizza slices. Don't forget to quench your thirst with a variety of ice-cold drinks. Racetrack, your one-stop shop to fuel your football Fridays.
In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you expect from HSS, the world's #1 in orthopedic care. With 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
You know, every year for the past 12 years, with the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, newly named, but we all know and love it, teams come from these other places, come down here to play a football game, and they end up wanting to stay. They end up wanting to move here. In fact, some people do get their first experience with South Florida and end up moving here. And I'll tell you, if you are either Toledo or Louisville, who will be playing in the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans in 14 days, and you do want to move out here, you're safe with Safebound. Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. Literally, they moved my sister from out of South Florida to Georgia. She had a great experience, and you can too. They've got Safebound Luxury, expert team in art handling, special event moving, luxury retail, and high-end residential. Safebound's luxury services have you covered. It is family-owned, and it is a trained team of experts based right here in West Palm Beach, and they service all of Florida. The Sunshine State is covered, so whether you're moving into Florida, out of Florida, or within state lines, you are safe with Safebound, a 5-star customer service you can rely on, experience, expertise, and also they're not you. You're an amateur, they're pros. Trust the pros. SafeboundMoving.com for your storage and moving needs. C-Cat, did you see the draw?
Oh, I read it and wept in a good way.
This is immaculate. 14 days, 22 hours, 44 minutes, and 43 seconds. How do I know? Because I'm on BocaRatonBowl.com where you can get your tickets. Louisville out of the ACC taking on Toledo. We're talking about a little action with some ACC action. We're talking about a team that's won 2 Boca Raton Bowls, Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, and a Louisville team that's going to be only the second team in the history of the ACC to compete in the game at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. And joining us now to talk about the matchup, heard around the world, is none other than the executive director of the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, Doug Mosley. What's happening, Doug?
Man, I'm glad to be with you today, but I got a little fix I need to get in here first.
Talk to me.
All right, now, when you're talking about that town in Kentucky where this institution is from, it's Louisville.
Louisville. I do. You know, people are very specific about that, and that's one thing we have to hem up. What was the other school recently? Appalachian State. There was one thing about Appalachian State that we had to keep going right to. What was it? Was it never App State?
Well, no, it was. You remember at the luncheon, he kept calling it Boca Raton.
Oh, there we go.
And then he told everybody, but we don't go by Appy State. So I had to get up after him, and I said, I'll make you a deal. If you call us Boca Raton, we'll call you Appalachian State.
Yeah. Let's get it right. Let's all be helpful to one another's branding. But for what we're going to talk about the matchup, I want to hear first before we get to Louisville versus Toledo. I want to hear first about what people should expect in general from the 12th annual Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans with the new title sponsor, and it's going to be bean-tastic. What does that mean, Doug?
Let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of stuff. I sent around a note today to some of our stakeholders, and I said, we're thrilled to have the matchup. Love what we got. But what's going to be really a lot of fun is what Bush's has in store for us in their promotional schedule. I'm not going to, slip the secret right now or anything like that. But next week, we anticipate that they'll have that promotional schedule all together, finalized, and we'll roll that out to everybody. They have been incredibly creative. And, to be a big food company, I read something that said 3 out of every 4 cans of canned beans consumed in the United States is a Bush's Beans.
Wow.
And, a company like that, they're family owned all this time, but they've got a lot of creativity. They're a lot of fun. Tell you, they're just awesome folks. They joined in with us last night when we welcomed the 2 teams. So I think, you know what, we may have to have a follow-up conversation on everything they got coming on.
There we go. I'm looking forward to talking about that. And when people think about the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans, I think about the alumnus of it, right? You think about the Zach Wilsons and the Bailey Zappies of the world who had great performances that turned into, being drafted in the NFL. You think about last night, Sunday Night Football, there were 2 players that made key plays, some of them positive, some negative. Azeez Al-Shaair, FAU alum for the Texans, the linebacker, number 0. He was making plays all over the field. He was a player of the game. He is a Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans alum. And on the other side, Rashee Rice, he was at SMU when they played in the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. Like, there's some real talent that's going to be out there playing on December 23rd.
Yeah, and let's, I even like to go kind of another level on this about a Palm Beach County connection to Louisville. Of course, our favorite quarterback, Mar Jackson, played there, won a Heisman Trophy there. Of course, came out of Boynton Beach High School. And then Ashton Gelati, who played at Boca Raton High School. He played with my son even. And he's now in the pros playing for Kansas City. He's a rookie in the league. So, Louisville's got a great program, just a fantastic program, has steadily, had players going to the NFL. They're used to going to bowl games and such. And, on the other side, the MAC, Toledo has been right there at the top of the MAC. It's, it seems like it's been them and Ohio back and forth all these years. And, of course, like you said, this could be the third time we'll have them. Now, it'll be the first time, though, without their head coach or former head coach, Jason Candle, who took the position at UConn that was opened up when Jim Mora Jr. Went to Colorado State. So I'm happy for Jason. I'm sorry we're not going to see him in this bowl game. Coach Wiener, who we found out he had been, if you remember the first time they were in our bowl game, Philip Ely was the MVP for Toledo. He was his high school coach, and now here he is at his alma mater, and he's the interim head coach. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. I called it, you've got Toledo with that awesome defense, Louisville, the Brahms, they're known for offense. It's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think also they, think about Toledo, Quinyon Mitchell, a guy who was with the Eagles, who was with Toledo, who played in. Like, there's so many great alumnus of the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. When you think about those two teams coming in, Toledo has a chance at a record here, Doug. They got a chance to set a record.
Yeah, go 3-0. First one to do it. Western Kentucky, of course, they've been here 3 times as well, lost in their last time here. So Toledo, the one thing I told them, Theo, and you'll appreciate this, the 2 times they've come, it has rained like the dickens. Yeah. And I told them, I'm like, man, we are so happy to have you coming back, but could you leave the rain in Ohio? Do not bring that down with you.
Please don't. Please don't. And then for this year's Louisville team, I keep on doing that. Louisville, for this year's Louisville team, they are a team that comes with great prowess as well, because unlike Notre Dame, they actually beat 2 teams that are in the playoff right now.
That's right. They beat Miami down here, and they're the only team that beat James Madison. Speaking of, how cool is that? The team that won our championship, that took home the Howard Schnellenberger Trophy last year, is in the CFP this year.
Yeah. It goes to show, again, it is one of the foundational places of college football for greatness. There's highlights through the wazoo. I'll never forget Bailey Zappi breaking Joe Burrow's records in that very stadium. Like, the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans is a party, and it's one that you don't want to miss out on. How can people get in Flagler Credit Union Stadium? Where should people go to make sure that they're able to secure their spot?
So all you got to do is just Google tickets, Boca Raton Bowl, or even Bush's Boca Raton Bowl, and it'll pull that up there for you. Tickets went on sale yesterday. We had a robust start. I think that the matchup really kind of got some people going. Interestingly enough, our ticket, it was auto time to go on sale at 2:00 when the original announcement was going to make. And I mean, what happened yesterday? What a day! Yeah. What a chaotic day! And so nobody thought to reset the ticket activation, and it, went on sale 2:00. And our ticketing folks called me and they said, "Hey, we realize we haven't made the match or announced the matchup yet. Do you want us to pull the tickets back off sale?" And they said, "We've sold several." I'm like, "If we're selling tickets, you leave them on sale.
Let it ride."
Exactly.
Let it ride. Doug, how did this come to be, though? Because the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans has generally been marketed as a showcase of 2 of the greatest G5 teams in the nation. Now, for the second time in 3 years, we have an ACC program. How did it come to be, and what does this mean for the future of this bowl game?
Theo, it's really about our area, about what's to offer down here. I mean, you look at the teams, like I say, Louisville's been down here and got 2 NFL players out of this county. They both want to be here. They both want to recruit here. The student athletes, prospective student athletes in this county is amazing. Tonight we're going to have a celebration of football in our county. We're going to announce our team of the year, our coach of the year, and our player of the year and kicker of the year in high school sports here in Palm Beach County. We are so just talent laden. That's why they want to be here. It's important to them to be where the talent is, because that's what's going to keep their success rolling through the years. Beyond that, I just say I try not to screw it up. I'm selling beaches and sunshine and palm trees and a whole lot of great football players.
Well, you know what? You sell it well, Doug. Again, Doug Mosley, Executive Director of the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. I'll see you in 2 weeks at Flagler Credit Union Stadium at FAU, and I'll see you tonight at the 34th Annual Lou Groza Award. Looking dapper as always. C-Cat's already dressed for the occasion. I got to get ready.
All right, man. See you in a bit.
All righty. That is Doug Mosley, Executive Director of the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans. Toledo versus Louisville, December 23rd, 2 p.m. kickoff. BocaRatonBowl.com to get your tickets today. They just went on sale, and apparently they flying off the shelves.
Dude, I cannot imagine a better start to the season, the holiday season, excuse me. Like that weird 2-week span where you've got Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's mixed on in there. The Orange Bowl eventually coming up down the wire. Then to start it, 2 o'clock in Boca, man.
It's going to be a good one, bro. Miller Moss, quarterback of Louisville. Don't they have Chris Bell as well, the absolute dog built like A.J. Brown?
Yeah, I think we got the best team in the history of the Boca Bowl at the Bush's Boca Raton Bowl of Beans with Louisville.
100%.
The most accomplished, undoubtedly. You've beaten 2 college football playoff teams.
Yeah.
That's insane.
No, this is the best team. You could argue BYU potentially the year with Zach Wilson because of their record. The Western Kentucky team was really strong with Bailey Zappi, that he broke a record individually for his collegiate passing yards and whatnot. But, yeah, Louisville, I better get their name right or they might hit me next.
I wonder if the Boca Bowl committee said, hey, Notre Dame, you want to play?
No, they probably turned Notre Dame down. That's what made them quit on their season. Roots on Rizzo's next from the Lou Groza Award. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy.
College basketball is coming to Sunrise. Catch a thrilling doubleheader at the 2025 AutoNation Orange Bowl Basketball Classic. Be there at Amerant Bank Arena on Saturday, December 13th as the defending national champions, the Florida Gators, take on George Washington, and the Florida State Seminoles battle the UMass Minutemen. Tip-off is at noon. Bring the whole family.